Hello all, Glenn Gordinier here, retired professor, avid surfer, and welcome to the first in my series of vlogs titled The Surfing Life. Now I know I don't look like most men and women that are involved in surfing or who post on the web about surfing. Many of them could be my children or grandchildren, but I started riding waves nearly 6 decades ago and I'm still at it. So I welcome you to enjoy this unique perspective. This series of video blogs will examine the sport and the lifestyle that is surfing. We'll talk about what it feels like to ride a wave, the thrill, the challenge, the look. We'll also examine surfing culture, the surfing tribe in the United States and abroad. We'll talk about all aspects of the surfing life, stretching from heading out for a dawn patrol with friends to numerous surf-inspired organizations that work to make ours a better world. So welcome. I thought I'd start this blog by drawing on my latest book titled Still Surfing Cold Water. This is my first vlog, so I thought I would read about my first wave, the wave that stole my soul. This is titled Epiphany. It was 1964. I don't remember a great deal about that session, my first real session with a board to myself. It was a cheap production board known as a pop-out, lent by a friend that served up many pounding wipeouts. Luckily, I was young and pliable, but what I do remember with pure clarity is the vision, the feel, and the moment that for me turned surfing from an interest to a passion that would last a lifetime. More than a passion, an obsession. Renowned surfer Jerry Lopez has spoken of, quote, a moment that keeps pulling you back to have another moment, and it never ends. I had my moment at the age of 16. The Beatles had completed their first U.S. tour. The Beach Boys were topping the charts, and the Endless Summer had yet to make its dramatic debut. It was a warm summer morning, my second time with a surfboard in my hand. My buddy and I had paddled out through what had to be at least shoulder-high sets. Rough going, but what did we care? It was a typical South Jersey morning. The sun was starting to climb, and it was already giving up some of its warmth to my bare back. Seagulls wheeled overhead, but there wasn't yet a breath of wind. I don't recall if it was my first wave or my second wave that day that changed my life. It doesn't matter really. What I do remember is turning my board at the bottom of that wave. I must have survived the drop. It was a turn to the right, front side for my regular foot. Having accomplished that, I looked up and ahead, and there before me was a vision that's been burned into my consciousness and subconscious ever since. That vision and the feeling coming from the sea through that pop out to my feet and up through my body transformed me. I could feel the power of the sea, and before me I saw a wall of pure liquid glass. It's as frozen in my memory these 57 years later as if it were rendered by the hand of Rembrandt. It was, of course, insentient and momentary, as transient as any oscillation on the planet. That wave was only on that spot relative to the beach, the shore, the continent, to me, for an instant. Then it all changed. A second later it was taller, its life was shorter, the beach was closer and the planet had rotated a breath. I and my board had moved as well. I raced across that fluid wall of energy, and by the ride's end experienced a feeling of elation that I'd never known before. I sat down on that bright red pop-out and I was drunk with the thrill of it all. I was drunk with the speed, drunk with the power, drunk with the surge, drunk with the exhilaration of that ocean's forces coursing through my body. But I was mostly drunk with the image of that watery wall looming above me, inviting me to share in its brief, fleeting life. Embedded in my mind's eye, that image would be visited again and again in the ensuing years. It has always been my personal wedge of the universe, my inspiration, my sanctuary. And in the privacy of my mind's eye, I've stood on that red pop-out at that spot, at that wave's foot, 10,000 times. The title of that was Epiphany, from my book, Still Surfing Cold Water. If you're interested in the book, you can find it online. Go to rhodeislandsurfco.com. rhodeislandsurfco.com, spelled as it sounds, Rhode Island Surf Co. is a local shop in Westerly, Rhode Island. We all like to support our local shops, so please you support them too. You could get the book on Amazon as an ebook or as a paperback. If this vlog intrigues you, I invite you to come back. Hit the subscription button down below, and as I repeat this on a regular basis, examining other aspects of the surfing life, you can join me. But for now, I'm going to say, keep on paddling out.